be with the noise of the jeep and we talk and we move. When we move an animal standing, it will be very hard to see them. But when we stop in few places and we might see them. And the animals here, it's a gazelle, the brown, the same color like the weeds. The wild boar, black, same color like the lava rock. And you see them, they're big, they can be 150 kilos. And every wolf, they have a lot of damage to the, see the cattle? You see fox.
Check it out. I don't know if we can see him.
On the right side of the tree.
Yeah, it's a little bit there, right next to that tree.
Okay, wait. See them?
Yep.
A whole bunch of people.
See them בליב עוד שנייה אחת, תן רק לשמוע קודם את ה... Listen to the voices.
Where is it?
They're over there. I see them.
They're gonna cross.
There they go, between the gap between the two trees.
I don't see any. Over there, yeah.
There's
Those three of them.
Yep.
Look out the camouflage.
We're making tea.
It's a piece of Katyusha Rocket 2006.
What is it?
Katyusha Rocket. You know Katyusha
Shrapnel.
Rocket?
Rocket, the rocket.
You don't get this in Texas. Over here in the Middle
Here
East.
it comes with the neighbor.
Yeah, with the neighbors. 1922. Something happened here in the Middle East. The French in the Golan, the British in the Valley have enough to stay in the Middle East. Why? I never asked, but I can understand. And they sit for 24 years to mark the border, what will be Israel, what will be Syria. For 24 years they sit and decide many agreements, what will be Israel, what will be Syria.
Here's a fox. Sorry to interrupt.
What?
Daddy's crying and laughing. We'll again have a house, my daughter, with Daddy and dolls and a fruit tree, and no more terror, my daughter, my dear. Darling, are you crying or laughing? Crimson sunsets and golden dawns meet the green in the water. Without enemy cannon up there on the heights, the valley will be twice as green. The Jordan flows and twists as if drunk, blossoms kiss the valley. Now no one will turn its waters back. Darling, are you crying or laughing? The Jordan flows, passing between its banks. Blossoms kiss the valley up the Dove. Now no one will turn its waters back. Darling, are you crying or laughing?
An archaeological dig. Literally in the middle of nowhere.
Please.
Okay, let's see if we can...
How are you? How many days left?
We're finishing this week. Many of them. So
Yeah? What, they give him hummus?
Interesting you should say that, yeah.
Here, Dan is kind enough to tell us a few stories. You see the Corinthian? I showed you I showed you the plant.
Celebrate last night.
No, this is from Macalester College in Minnesota. Michael is at CUNY, Queens College, and I am at Carthage College in Wisconsin. And please don't walk in the center, please. We have to stay back from all the edges. It's very dangerous. The site that we're talking about is called Amrit. That's a relatively modern name. It's not associated with the ancient name. Excuse me?
Can you take a picture?
Yes, certainly. It's not. We don't know exactly what the ancient name of the site was, but it's a three-phase Roman podium temple site. You can see the first phase in here we call the early shrine. That was built probably around 50 BCE. We're not sure by whom, but the pattern of the stucco and the architecture tells us that it's around the middle of the 1st century BCE.
So this before Herod.
Yes, the original building was before Herod. It's enclosed by a frescoed wall all the way around. You can see a little bit of it under the cover there. So the hula, of course, in antiquity is mostly swamp, right? So difficult to travel. So to come this way from the west, you need to go to the north and then come across the ridge. And you could go north of Azaziat, or there was a road also south of Azaziat running up here.
This is the road?
And then that joins the main road to Banyas, Damascus, up a little bit further on the hill. Okay, we can't get there now because of the mines, but it would be about 1.5 kilometers, something like that. It's about 3 kilometers to Banyas from right here. So very, very closely associated. From this road out here, there would have been a bridge across, and then a road with a colonnaded way. You can see the stylobate and the bases going along. You can see them running all the way up. That would have taken people up to the temple. Okay.
Wow.
So in the Byzantine period, the colonnade gets broken up by all these other later walls that the Byzantines made shops or houses or whatever. They chopped up the colonnade, and that happens all the way along. We've dug it in a couple of places. So far, we don't have the colonnade on the east side of. Sorry, we don't have a colonnade on the east side of the road. We did try to get it over here last season, and I'm sorry. Before we go, let me just show you. Want to take? Sorry.
No,
The
thank you.
across the hill over here, we haven't been able to dig there yet because it's behind the mine fence. We know there aren't any mines there because we've seen the map, but some reason the fence is there nonetheless. So
And you don't want to
dig.
try it.
No,
And in 8 years they're going to
Although-
clean all the mines.
Although the cows graze out there
Yeah.
all the time, so they don't seem to be bothered by the mine. So this is clearly a town area in the Byzantine period.
Interesting.
We found a little bit of Middle Roman evidence as well, so we think there may be activity in the Roman period. And we'll be working on this area now. We're finishing the temple. We'll be moving out here to focus on the area around the temple.
Later Byzantine
Yeah,
something?
Byzantine wall.
Right.
There's a big oven back there underneath the bags. And the interesting thing here was we found 3 round bricks.
Oh.
Okay, anybody know what round bricks are used for? You've probably seen them.
A round brick?
Round bricks stacked up in a pile to hold up
Oh,
a floor.
yeah.
Okay?
Bathhouse.
In a bath, usually in the caldarium, you've got a suspended
The hot room.
floor, and these round bricks are stacked up in pillars to support the floor. So we take that as evidence of a bath. We then come down into the entryway to
Wow,
the
this
temenos.
Guys, look at this. This is not an earthquake destruction, right?
Hard to say, probably not. We think that there was a big entry complex here with lots of pillars. You can see one of the bases still in place there. Then look at this. Look at this
Still with
threshold. Yep.
the lock mark.
This was the gate,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then you came down some stairs. Boom, boom,
See,
boom,
it's
boom.
still
Here's a
scratch.
ramp.
But you're going to clean all of
A ramp that eventually, a ramp that goes down. As soon as I get my bobcat, I need a anybody work for?
Oh, really?
Anybody work for Case or
Ray
anything?
can arrange it.
Ah, great. The ramp going down to meet the temenos paving out there, and again, sort of the motion is toward the altar. But obviously, as you come to this point, then you see the temple. You have to imagine it like 13 meters higher than you see now. It would have been a pretty impressive sight.
I like to work in a Bobcat in the after.
When we have around the altar here, okay, so this is clearly associated with the paving is coming after the altar. It's a stepped altar. You can see 1, 2, 3, and then there would have been a large top where the sacrifice would have taken place. There's a statue base here to the east. See this one? And then also one to the west, preserved less fully. So there's another row here. So there would have been statues on these two sides. There's also an older base that was either a statue base or an earlier altar that we've covered back over here now where the pavers were robbed out.
And this you think was like leveled by Herod in order to build his complex on top?
This would have been associated with this.
With
This is the altar for the temple. Remember that in a Roman temple, the action is outside. It's around the altar where the sacrifice takes place, not in the building. The building is the house of the deity. You open the doors so the deity can see who's there and what's going on, but the activity goes on outside.
I'm actually getting
We're
back
at
down
the
there.
kibbutz,
All the way down to 40 with
the Padi,
41 was on the first level.
and a wonderful breakfast. Getting back to change and shower after our adventure.
It was actually slippery last night.
The kibbutz.
Continuing in this direction.
We're in a Druid's town.
You see now
Going towards it.
the struggle of the army on the hill over there. You see that black water tank on the left? Okay? This is right on the border with Syria. The hill of the screening when family members from both sides, Syria and Israel, okay, they have their relatives in Syria, will stand and scream to each other, how are you, and so on and so forth. Okay? Today with the emails and everything, No. Okay. Don't worry.
I am Zakin.
So you look nice.
Plus some cherries.
Interesting. I must have moved left.
טוב, תודה רבה.
Thank you.
This is Birkut Run.
No chance that it will be higher than what it is. So they put the pumps over there on the other side, you see.
So it's amazing.
Okay?
So when the volcano went,
Yeah.
it blew the whole cap.
It just opened this wound and got all the way to the
Yeah, so you see,
So you see the
you can
pumice
only
all
ima-
around,
and
exactly.
you can only imagine the height
Yeah.
on top of this
Yeah,
that
yeah,
now
yeah.
got this place.
And we're part of this big volcanic chain of volcanoes that we have here on the Golan.
It's the mob.
It's for Yom Kippur war only. When a tank brigade is deploying itself in a battlefield, usually the tanks will go in a certain way, okay? And what will lead them to the battle will be usually a lighter kind of a unit that will move today on Hammers. In 73 they moved on what we call the American Jeeps, okay? Those Jeeps that are very good. And the brigade will do the navigating. And the brigade will take them to the battle. Once they get to the front, the reconnaissance units will go to the sides, and actually, you know, the tanks are taking over with their enormous power.
Excuse me.
It melts like wax. Look at this. It melts, all right? And the crew with it, look, this is all simply, it like caved in because of the high temperature, right? All the ammunition inside exploded. You can still see pieces, you know, all over here. range of armor warfare is about 2 miles. Okay, you don't shoot for something. This is usually effective. All right. Here I can tell you. Let's go. Here I can tell you. Look at this. I will just point the 2 hits that actually killed this tank. See one here? And the second one here. This is the front of the tank. The same why in the Merkava we moved the engine to the front. Adds so much to the protection.
Valley of the Tears.
Hollow point that we thought would be good for the T-55. We did not know how it would deal with the T-62.
Looking for lunch.
Okay, we're going to work at this together. Abba, Vilma, call me Abba. כן. אני קבוצה טובה, אבל אנחנו בודקים אפשרויות. Here you have many. I don't know what is their situation from the occupational point of view, but many of them live here in
We're at the Golan Heights Winery. Just had a really nice lunch.
It's on either side of the sign.
And now we're ready for a little wine. Love this tree.
Hey, Renee.
Depending on the year, some years starting as early as August, but basically we're talking September, October, some years going as late as November. Again, wide range. You need a good 2 months to get that wide range of topographical time. I mean, if you've got grapes at 400 meters and you got grapes at 1200 meters, you need a lot of time in between to get them what you want them to be. Trucks are coming in from their side, big gondoliers of grapes, spill them over, crush them. Best way to crush a grape is by 100%. Anyone that's ever tasted broken into a grape seed, if you've had this experience, tastes terrible, very bitter. You'd ruin the wine before you even started.
We're wondering what makes an aged wine expensive. This is one of the reasons. We're holding around about 8,000 old barrels, right side, that side, behind that wall. They're running us a lot of money. We get about 60 years usage out of our barrels, and we get rid of them. They're like fresh old barrels, and we like them small. Those are 225-liter barrels. Is that gallons? 59 gallons. And it's small. What we expect is very good. But shrink. You lose the seal. But normally you lose the seal. The air gets controlled a mile high. You're honest. And those the red wine barrels, right? It's the street, the spillage. You can't tell. All they have to be very, very calm. Especially when you put the stopper down. Something can spill out. And again, it's okay.
New bottles come in the far side of it by the white doorway, by the tanks over there. Bottles come in, they get sterilized. This round machine over here, which is no longer turning around, fills some 40 bottles a turn. Bottles come out, filled, but again, being in into the wine.
It's breakfast at the kibbutz with the Altcockers, as Brady would say.
Mordechai, that's the name of the kibbutz. They established the factory here in 1949. That's the factory outlet.
This is the Nayot factory. We're coming for shoes.
Katie, we're going to get some Israeli sandals.
Does he look excited?
You want to just stiff the glue? green dot here. Yeah. As long as it's here.